Hey guys, before the video starts, I have to tell you, this discussion takes place after a match that we really lost to some bullshit that we'll talk about, and I've been a little bit disgruntled in this one, so bear with me with this one. That being said, enjoy the video. I feel like making a video about this shit.
I just do what I love. Burning sweet little things like you.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I've seen a lot of general forum talk about how Hi-Rez is just not taking player input at all, really. And they're just making these random-ass balance changes. Like, if you were really listening to their players, they actually would have just bumped Drogo's Fusillade down to 25%, you know, just so it was something to appease the players and see how it flies. And they would have, you know, implemented direct changes. Sometimes you gotta take gambles on stuff. And it's like, it's not like the 6-week patch cycle is, you know, it's not like that's a long time, really, to wait for a patch. And if anything, they can drop next patch if it's something that's so terrible. But it's like Cassie's burst damage, OP, they nerf her reload speed. And like one other minor thing, and they don't even nerf them that hard. Okay, so they nerfed her base kit. And the same with Xin, they nerf his base kit. That's at least upcoming in 1. Or no, that was in this one. It makes Yomi a base, kind of, people were saying it would make Yomi a necessity, but it's like, you don't nerf the base kit, you look at what people are picking, you look at what is causing the problem, and what kind of playstyle is causing the problem, and you make tweaks to that.
I want to do some more research and figure out exactly what helps counter best against a double medic stack, because there just seems to be a constant problem where once 2 medics are on the field, it makes it supremely difficult to do.
Yeah. It's very hard to single them out and target them. Because they're either healing themselves, because some medics have a self-heal, they're healing each other. And Khan just makes it a supreme problem when double medic stacking.
And also, why are they starting to add champions?
One.
You there, Bob? Your mic's taking a shit.
Stop
like your connection,
leaving
the
room
wireless.
whether you're trying to talk to us. Seriously, stop doing that.
Might need to unplug your dongle.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to unplug it because I haven't loaded.
There you are.
And what were you saying?
I think his mic's
There it goes.
There it is.
No, but what was I even saying? No, they need to stop adding characters and abilities that immune them to damage. Khan's roar, and what's her nuts' Furia's ultimate. All of these abilities that literally prevent them and give them immunity for short periods of time make other people's direct ultimates absolutely useless. Like, think about a Bomb King. A Bomb King's ult could be totally mitigated by just Khan's roar. Bam, countered. And that's just an ability, not even like an actual like superpower like.
Does it actually direct counter a one-hit kill ult like that?
Yep.
Wow.
You time it right, Lex, anyone who has the power could easily get deflected. Genos, you know.
I feel like his roar should be his ultimate.
Yeah,
Well, his
Yeah, I don't
ultimate
know.
is extremely personal feeling. It's kind of like Zen's. It grabs you, it manipulates you, so you're literally out of any control whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't feel as skill based. Like, I mean, even compared to something like Drogos is a one-hit kill. Yet you still have to fly to the target to actually do any fucking thing.
You have the initial
Genos,
charge time where you can get killed, you know,
There's
if you don't play it
Zen,
right.
who has to aim and do it.
Yeah, Zen can aim and do it, and I've found it's, you know, sometimes easy to miss, but with how hardcore the
You have Moji,
the
who has a
auto-aim
biscuit.
lock is, you're bound to hit somebody.
Yeah, Moji who has a biscuit. She has to go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's alright, it depends on that one.
well, it seems like they're kind of running out of actual, like, not necessarily unique abilities, but just abilities that can vary from a different character. So they're starting to resort to a lot of not bullshittier, but a lot of like questionable cards. Like take Zen. Immediately Zen's got just a general card that allows him to go, you know, ghost, heal himself, or, you know, allow him to swing his sword, do instant burst damage, has an ultimate that does a one-hit kill. Now, compare that to someone who originally first came out in the game, Maeve. Maeve literally is a full-blown 100% skill character. People who start playing her are total shit, but then you see people who are level 50s, level 60s, level 70s with Maeve, and you actually have to worry about that shit because they're gonna bounce around like a freaking bunny with its head cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Even freaking Victor is kind of a skill character. Yeah, he's a pleb in terms of, like, he's a stereotypical soldier, but still, his damage over time is not as good as others. I mean, if you take Victor and Tyra and put them against each other, Tyra will actually win because she has more abilities that can take damage versus Victor.
Right.
Victor's a pure multi-role.
Yeah. Tyra, you can debuff a target, you can AoE a target, you can do a direct high damage hit.
And as an ultimate that's completely in her control. Meanwhile, Victor's you can't even free fire. That's another thing I was really annoyed about when I first played this game, is that sometimes there was an enemy obviously in front of me, and I'd try to click it right as they would go over the spot, and it wouldn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? No, he has to get a quote-unquote lock on just for the thing to fire. And it makes it so much harder to fire sometimes. Like, you can get really lucky with it, but it's still really trashy.
Yeah.
But then you move on to another new character, like, you know, Khan, for example. Khan, you know, you would think he's like a commander. Like, if you think his overall story, he's a commander who leads. So what do they do for abilities? You know, you could do something that's about his strength. You could do the roar in a different way, where he could still roar and still shoot,
like
and
you
it wouldn't be as strong.
I feel like you should, like, get rid of the CC immunity and the healing and just make him just do more damage. I mean, that would be annoying, but you can still kill him at least.
Right.
Well, even to some extent, Khan is like almost more balanced than Terminus, because Terminus, you really, really have to get behind him to do anything.
Yep, and you know, because that shield that charges back up and you can pop at any time has a 180-degree field of defense. So if you turn 45 degrees, you're pretty much covered. If you turn 90 degrees from front, you're covered then from the one person in front of you to the person in front and the person directly behind you.
No, the fundamental problem that makes his character broken is he has the only shield that A, doesn't get absorbed by, you know, Wrecker, and B, or Destructor, I don't remember, whatever. And B, he is the only shield character that can completely 100% manipulate his shield angle. Fernando is fixed.
Yeah,
Barrett
that's
is
just
fixed.
horizontal. Or wait, Fernando can't rotate left and right with his shield up, can he?
This again.
He can, but he can't look up.
Well, you can look up, but the shield will still be fixed.
Right.
Khan, he can't look up either. It's still one directional, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's perpendicular to the ground.
Yep. Torvald doesn't even technically have one. It's just something that's self-regenerating, and it's just a general, armor buff, just like Ruckus. Meanwhile,
Right.
what does Terminus do? Any character who tries to fly up in the air and tries to hit him, he can just look up and counter all of it. And even worse, all that damage that he's getting hit by, he absorbs it and just shoots it right back at you. So it's
And
punishing
can
you.
turn it into health.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can heal himself from that, gain a damage ability from that.
The only thing that makes Terminus a terrible character, and the reason why you never see him in competitive, is purely because he's a melee character. No one likes to play melee characters. And guess what? You know what a big problem with Terminus is? His character set is based off of melee. So, okay, that's fine. So when you think about his character, you'd think, okay, he's probably the most logical person to use third person. But guess what? In competitive, you can't use third person. Hence why no one uses them, because when someone flanks you, you can't see where the fuck they just went. It's kind of like a tank with the barrel. Like, if you go into hardcore mode, you're not going to see where that C4 guy's running up to you is coming from.
Right. Yeah, like, what is it? Yeah, you can heal for up to 25% of the damage absorbed by Power Siphon.
That is the other honest thing that I will forever be tainted by Hi-Rez. Is Hi-Rez could have used that third-person camera as an actual character uniqueness. Like, for example, make everyone else not have third-person, but allow Terminus to have third-person. Give that aspect of uniqueness, so, like, maybe not say Terminus, but now everyone in the game can go third person. Anyone can do a wall peek like I do. Like, there's no point. You're literally at a fundamental disadvantage when you're going first person. The only characters that get kind of fucked by third person are Makoa, the snipers, Moji. That's it. Everyone else fundamentally benefits from a third-person camera perspective.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the character, really, because, like, I've tried playing third-person with Drogo's. His character model is so large, it's not like if you're playing Victor or somebody where the reticle, is above him. No, the reticle is literally smack dab in the middle of his chest most of the time, no matter what you're doing, so you can't even see your target when you put the reticle on him. So just because he's such a large character, you can't use third person because you literally can't see what you're trying to aim at.
Yeah. It just kind of goes to show.
Basic third person.
Well, the reality is making it third person broaden the audience for more casual play. Like, that's the honest to God thing. It's made me playing Victor as a way better character because I can fucking pick third person around the corner, wait till everyone else leaves, and then I just run around the corner and steamroll. I mean, that tactic I would think would be more often used, but a lot of times when I play, I really don't see that a lot. I see flanking, I see people using third person camera view, but I don't necessarily see people really abusing the third camera sometimes.
Right. Yeah, and I think if select characters had third person, it would be more, I guess in a sort of way, team play encouraging, because, like, if only one character had the ability to have a larger field of view, a larger visual of the current map, be able to peek around corners, technically relay information to the rest of your team.
Yep. I mean, if you want to pull some bullshit, you could say, like, only certain characters who have great eyesight could do it. So, for example, Makoa, since he's like a turtle, he's got, like, that farther spread out eyesight, he might be able to see around corners better, hence worth the third-person view.
Yeah, the not direct forward-facing.
Or, okay, let's bullshit again. Let's say in Nara, since she has the ability to communicate with, like, nature, she can hear things or stuff like that, so that's why she has the third-person camera. So it's just, I get it that they wanted to try something new, and to some people it really worked, but I just feel personally it ruins the more competitive element of how it worked. I mean, remember when Maeve got the uniqueness of when she pulled her flying ability, she would go into third person. So that was before the whole third person fucking camera
Wait,
switch.
Maeve or?
Yeah, Maeve. When she does her runaround ability, the camera would go third person, right, Eric? Or no? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it used to do that.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah, so it gave
kinda
you
pointless, so there's just
more situational awareness while trying to move around or escape.
And Evie as well. When Evie flew around on her fucking
broom. Let's just call it a broom.
yeah, whatever the fuck. She would actually go third person, which makes sense because she's a flanking character who gets more situational awareness.
Fuck,
I mean,
just
hell,
give
you
all
want to
the
pull an even
flanks
more
up.
bigger bullshit? You could say Kinessa or Strix
Sky.
because
Because they're kind of scout-themed characters in essence.
Yep.
Sky definitely be a scout.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? That would be an interesting concept. Make only the flankers have third person.
And Terminus. Once they nerf him.
Except Talus. Talus can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like it would be harder to actually shoot people with Talos.
Yeah. True.
I feel like the character that requires the most skill in like the tank area would be a Nara. Because you have to like
Yeah.
think about what you're doing constantly while you're using her.
She has a lot of abilities that are very situational based, like that barrier can be amazing for trapping people. It can be amazing for blocking off pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of her cards, I don't know which one is it. It's the Treacherous Ground. Warder's Field has a 50% increase radius and now cripples. That thing can be kind of horseshit sometimes.
Yeah. But
Because like you could be
Yeah.
running away and then you get completely trapped. Like it's not just like a slowdown. It's just like your character is just freaking
Yeah, you're
slow
dead in the water
motion.
sitting there.
She can really trap characters, and if you have a good team composition, you could literally have people focus fire on the people you slow down.
Yeah. Especially
Honestly,
for slower tanks.
Man, you know, now thinking about it, Torvald has really taken a back seat, at least in terms of the casual scene for front lines. I don't even recall last time I saw Torvald.
yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Torvald was a fucking mess to be dealt with, just because he could literally heal himself while getting shot at by like 2 or 3 different other champions.
Also, you
Right.
had like
Really
2
made him-
laser beams, which is fucking
Why am I-
ridiculous.
Why
Yep.
am I sneezing? Where's the light
Rip.
bulb?
Rip.
Damn it.
Rip.
Bright light. I need
Rip.
bright light.
Why does he
no.
need light to sneeze? Is he's trying to release the demon in an open, like, light area so it burns?
What would you say the character that requires the most skill? I'd say Evie.
No. Oh. Those
Evie,
denied sneezes.
Maeve,
FML.
and then...
Oh.
Honestly, Maldumba. Because Maldumba is kind of a main medic, actually, if you got really good with him. It's just that he's a really difficult character to get used to, just because, you know, his projectile is really slow, his snake is really slow to throw.
Mm-hmm.
But to take in consideration, he's got a bunch of different card sets that can really change up his playstyle. Now, the problem is he is slowly being phased out by the new bullshittery of the newer medics. You know, Genos, the buffs to Ying and Ceres, and then now Furia.
Yeah.
If you look at the tipping scale between attack or aggressive and medic, Maldumba is like like fucking right in the middle. Like he
He's a
is like
Swiss
dead
Army
in the
knife.
center. Yeah. You look at Furia, she's a little bit far to the left side towards aggressive. You look at Sarah, she's more support. Ying, she is more aggressive. Like there's so many characters now that you can just go specialize with and then take two medics. Like for example, just like that last game, we had a Genos, it was a Genos and a Ying. No, it was a Ying and a Saris. Ying, aggressive, Saris, medic. Like, you got those two combos together, and then they can just interweave between roles as medics. Like, it's fine if they want to bridge the gap between some champions. Like, for example, the concept of Ruckus is really cool. Having a frontline who can actually put out constant damage fast enough to wreck someone if the time is given. Plus, his flying around card can totally spin people through a loop.
Yeah, having that much maneuverability on a heavy-duty character.
That really has completely changed my playstyle. I used to totally think, why would you ever want to fly around that much? Like, it's way better just to have your shield health by extra 1,250, but the reality is, that shield goes away a lot quicker.
Right, especially if people start stacking anti-shield.
Yep. Meanwhile, this is just literally a permanent buff that can never be affected.
Right.
Those cards are probably the most deadly. Legendary cards that cannot be affected by outside influence.
Right, that cannot be debuffed in any way, shape, or form. Or
Yep.
direct hard countered. Now, what do you guys think? Would you say it's harder to balance a game like this compared to something like Battlefield just because...
That's pretty much it. The rest that we talk about is pretty much irrelevant from what I wanted you to hear. I hope you try to understand where we're coming from when we're talking about this stuff. And yeah, that being said, have a nice day. I'll see you guys later.